So Elise Stefanik, the new American ambassador to the United Nations, has announced America is going to dismantle UNRWA. She says, make no mistake, we will not only defund UNRWA, which of course sustains and perpetuates Palestinian terrorism, hostility to Israel, conflict. She has said that they're going to dismantle it and not just defund it. That's a big difference, because it's one thing for America to say, well, we're not getting involved in this anymore, which is of course great. She's saying we're going to actively dismantle this heinous organization. Have a watch of her words.
And a top priority that I have worked on in Congress for years, President Trump defunded UNRWA, the pro-Hamas terrorist group that committed atrocities on October 7th. And make no mistake, hear it now, as President Trump's United States ambassador to the United Nations, we will not only defund UNRWA, we will dismantle it.
Amazing. Now, let's be clear. I say this is amazing. This should be common sense, though, in a sane world, because UNRWA have been found to have employees that are, number one, involved in the October 7th massacre, directly involved as terrorists, but also have teachers widespread that are encouraging them to become martyrs. They're not teaching peace and reconciliation. They're all complicit with Hamas. So many of them. You don't believe me? Have a look at this. These are Palestinian students of an UNRWA school.
السلام بدناش اياه.
شو بيعلموكم عن حق العودة بالمدارس؟
ما احنا مشروع شهادة كلنا. واحنا لازم ندافع عن وطننا كثير. راح ناخذ حقنا والله ينتقم منهم ان شاء الله يموتوا كلهم. القدس عاصمة فلسطين وراح تضلها لنا ومش راح تتغير، راح تضلها لنا. المستوطنين اللي فيها كلهم راح ينتخوا.
There you go. There's your wonderful United Nations organization, and that's what they're creating and promoting. UNRWA is unbelievable. What does it stand for? Actually, the words of UNRWA actually stand for the United Nations, let me just make sure I've got it absolutely right, Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees. Well, I think they should rename it to the unaccountable, nefarious, radical, wicked anti-Semites. Because that's what UNRWA is ultimately. And so I highly commend what Elise Stefanik has done. And many of the things that the Trump administration are doing, people see as radical because they've gone against the status quo. But as I keep saying, in a sane world, and maybe we'll look back at this when we have much more sanity, we'll realize that this is actually just sane, basic morality doing this. We're so lulled into a sense of security and respect because they have the banner of the UN, the ICC, the ICJ, Harvard, Princeton, Columbia, the media, the BBC. But it turns out that actually one of the great things that's happening in our time is more and more people, grassroots, are waking up to the fact that the great elite institutions of our age have a total vacuum of morality and wisdom. One of the first things Jews say every morning is, the beginning of wisdom is a fear of God. Well, that's lacking in all these places. And before someone says, what do you mean, God? That creates religious extremism. Well, it depends who your understanding is of God. When it says that, it's referring to the God of Israel.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.